Time now to welcome in senior writer from The Athletic, Zack Rosenblatt, who covers the Jets. Zack, good to see you, and thanks for giving us a couple minutes.
Yeah, good to talk to you guys.
All right, Zack, let's start with the rumor out there that's running rampant about the Jets trying to pair up Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers. What are you hearing, and what do you think of this as being a real possibility?
Yeah, I think this all started just from a comment that Aaron Rodgers kind of half made on the golf course, and I think some people maybe misinterpret. I think he was talking about playing with him on the golf course, but ultimately, as long as Davante's playing for the Raiders and Aaron Rodgers is with the Jets, this is going to be a rumor. I don't see it happening anytime soon. Maybe if we get closer to the trade deadline, the Raiders are out of it, the Jets are still trying to contend, then maybe you go and get them. But as of now, the Jets, they can't even afford him technically. They'd have to make some moves, and he has like something like a $17 million salary. They have like $6 million in cap space. There's ways to maneuver, but ultimately, it's a lot of noise for a part of the offseason when there's not much going on, is what I would say.
So it's not a done deal.
No, it's not a done deal.
All right.
Yeah, plenty of rumors, right? But Aaron Rodgers, the drama continued with his trip to Egypt. How do you think his first press conference is going to go of training camp?
I think he'll address it because it'll obviously be asked about. I'm curious to see his tone because from what I understand, I don't think he was particularly thrilled that it was framed the way it was. I think the messaging kind of got lost, and this was a thing that he communicated to the Jets a while ago, and then it happened, and then it was called an unexcused absence, and nobody gave any details, and it all kind of blew up. And when in the end, he was there for every OTA practice. The minicamp practices were the exact same thing as the OTAs. And I keep saying this, while I think it's fair to question why the starting quarterback wasn't at a mandatory session, if we look back at the season and they are either very good or very bad, it won't be because he missed those practices. So,
is he upset? Just a follow up there, Zack. Is he upset with Saleh? Upset of the word unexcused? Upset with the Jets PR department for basically holding a grenade and pulling the pin?
Yeah, I just think it was the way the information was presented and when it was presented. I don't think it's anything that's going to linger into the season or be an issue, but I do think he was a little annoyed by the way it became a story when, he didn't think it needed to be, essentially.
Zack, you wrote today about the Jets roster, saying on paper it looks like one of the most talented in the NFL. Outside of Rodgers, who stands out to you when you take a look at the full squad?
You start with the defense always with this team. Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Quinton Williams on the D-line, Hassan Reddick, assuming he reports. I think they have the best linebacker pairing in the NFL, best corner room in the NFL, some solid safety. So I just think they're loaded on defense. When you look on offense, you have Garrett Wilson, a guy who's going to break out this year, in my opinion. Breece Hall, already probably one of the best running backs. I think ESPN about second best in the league. And their offensive line, again, on paper, I think that's the operative word here, or phrase. On paper, their offensive line looks significantly better. You have a guy in Tyron Smith, you have Morgan Moses, AVT coming back, Joe Tippmann coming back, and they signed John Simpson. That's a solid group of five. Everybody stays healthy. A lot of questions, and I think that's why I keep emphasizing on paper, because this team looks really good on paper, but a lot can go wrong, and they have a lot of health questions all along the roster where, if Rodgers can't get through the season, if Tyron Smith can't get through the season, Mike Williams, any of their guys that have been healthy, then you could have some issues.
Yeah, moving over from the players' side, the Jets are 18-33 under Robert Saleh. If things go wrong again this season, you think that'll be the end of the Robert Saleh era?
Yeah, I think everybody knows that they're on the hot seat, even if they don't want to acknowledge it publicly. I think Aaron Rodgers is the only one that's acknowledged it, but I think they all know that, even if Woody doesn't want to call it a mandate, it's a mandate. If they don't make the playoffs, or if even worse than that, then everybody's gone. And it's pretty rare for a coach to get this far into his tenure without even sniffing the playoffs, really. So I think he has a lot to prove this season. They have the talent. If they're in close games, we're going to find out what Robert Saleh is made of. And to this point, we haven't really gotten a chance to see a lot of that. So I think that, he knows his job is on the line. His chance to be a head coach in the NFL is on the line, and they have a lot to prove this year.
Jets over-under right now set at 9.5 wins. Are you going over-under that number, Zack?
Man, it is a high number for a team that hasn't been to the playoffs in a long time. I'll go over, but slightly over at 10 wins, but I don't say that with a lot of confidence just because, like I said, they have so many health questions that if one or two specific guys go down, then I'm not feeling so good about that.
Zack Rosenblatt, senior writer, Athletic, covers the Jets. Hey, Zack, appreciate and enjoy your last days of summer, all right?
Thanks. I appreciate it, guys.
You got it.